What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video we'll be talking about two coins, Toshi and Turbo. We'll talk about Toshi first and then Turbo, okay? Mainly because cats before frogs, right? Here we are at $0.0078 right now, 9 hours and 22 minutes left in this day, this wonderful 28th of October. Hit that like button, you guys, subscribe, and let's get into it, okay? The 29th, tomorrow, is a somewhat big deal, right? We've got the Federal Reserve announcing some interest rate changes, right? We're going to be cutting rates. The 30th, we've got Donald Trump and President Xi meeting to discuss trade affairs, stuff like that, trade negotiations, and things will hopefully be positive with that. So I'm assuming that over the next couple of days we could see a little bit of life with Toshi. You never know with this thing, man. You never know when you're going to get a 100% pump in one day or a 20% pump in one day. We'll take whatever we can get, but I wouldn't be surprised if between now and the next couple of days we did move higher, and then perhaps after these two bullish events, bullishly perceived events, we move down a little bit and then proceed higher going into November. Let's look at the short-term stuff. We'll look at the 1 hour time frame and then zoom out from there, okay? 1 hour time frame based off of the Coinbase chart here. The RSI, if I'm being fair, does look sad, right? You've got lower lows, you've got lower highs. You look like you're in a bit of a downtrend, right? I think it's obvious. I think it seems obvious, at least to me it does. You're probably finding resistance here and you move lower. Does this mean that we go lower than this? No, but probably, right? So lower prices? Maybe not, right? Maybe not. Lower, yes, but lower prices, no, because here you're getting lower lows in your RSI, but you're not getting lower lows in your price. You're actually getting higher lows. That's hidden bullish divergence. I will say that's a nice thing to see right there. Stochastics look good as well, but you're getting tied up in an area that you get tied up at sometimes. And the MACD actually looks like it wants to bounce here. You're not making it easy on me, are you, Toshi? Not making it easy at all. I mean, I could see you pulling back down here, taking out this low, but holding true to this low, going somewhere in between, and then moving up. I could also just see you moving up from here because you have enough bullish stuff going on. I mean, genuinely, you've got two drives of hidden bullish divergence, right? Your MACD is right at an area to bounce, and the stochastics are, to be fair, they look unfulfilled. They look like they want to go higher. But with that being said, you are at a point to reject here. You are at a point to reject here based off of your downward sloping trend. And your MACD, maybe it's crossing below the zero instead of bouncing off the zero. All of that would implicate that you do go lower. But does that mean that you take a lower low? I don't know. Hard to say. Let's zoom out to the 4 hour because the 1 hour is making my head hurt, okay? Looking at the 4 hour time frame, you are consistently finding support here at prior resistance, right? Good. Where you had prior support back here. Let's see, where you had prior resistance back here and back here, right? Somewhat of a significant area here that you're holding up, holding true to. You've broken out of this range. I think it's very clear that you've broken out of this range, and now you're just consolidating up here. I think you're going to break out to the upside. I have a hard time imagining you getting lower lows. So the thought here being at 3078, are we moving up right now? Are we moving down right now? I suppose it doesn't really matter because you're going to move up at some point. And if you move down, it's not going to be significant. So who cares if you're moving up or down right now, because you are going to move up inevitably. It is going to be spectacular inevitably. And if you have to move down first before that happens, it's going to be insignificant entirely. So might not even be worth worrying about. I'd say just have patience here. 4 hour time frame. Looking at the 4 hour RSI, this looks very productive, unlike the 1 hour time frame. Higher lows and higher highs. Perfect. You actually had an area to bounce. You could afford to go a little bit lower and then bounce, but that's fine, right? Totally fine. Good looking RSI, very good looking 4 hour RSI. Stochastics look a little bit different, a little bit sad. Most of the time in this kind of situation, I would expect that you go lower to the oversold zone, but you have bounced right here before, relatively recently. You even bounced right here. You even bounced back here, and you've gotten tied up at this area a couple of times, haven't you? So it is very possible that we do move higher. If you hear any noises in the background, it's just my toddler. I don't know. What is a toddler? Oh, okay, that was not how I was mislined on the is a toddler. It's two D's. I know. I thought I typed two D's, but a toddler, a young child just beginning to walk. Okay, so she might not be a toddler then. She's a big kid, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, 00078. But if you hear any noises in the background, that's just her being a silly goose. The MACD has crossed red, but it does look productive overall. I mean, bullish overall. Saying the same story that we've been saying, right? You could go a little bit lower, but it's not a big deal. I don't know, man. I'm kind of inclined to call for a bounce here after looking at the 4 hour time frame. But I think, again, before we really dissected the 4 hour, I think it's the same thought, is that regardless of what happens here, who cares? You're going to break out. We've got bullish upcomings inbound. We have to be patient and wait for those to happen, right? And if I'm wrong, let's say that I'm wrong and we don't hold these higher lows don't prevail. Let's say we go lower. Cool, go lower. You're going to hold 00072. You're going to get higher lows here. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal if you do break out of this. Even if you do, because what's the big deal is the upside. Is the upside movement here. Hold on real quick. Thank you. Okay. Looking at the daily time frame. Looking at the RSI, you're bouncing off the 40, which is nice. I mean, overall, the daily RSI is spectacular. What does a good RSI look like? Well, let's go over it right here, man. Getting overbought consistently, not getting oversold, living predominantly above the 50. Just quick stints in and out below the 50, right? We love to see that. Overall, very, very healthy. And you're just not getting oversold at all. Consistently building here with the price, right? You're definitely at a low point. And if this was a channel, if this were a channel, you're definitely at the low points here, man. I would think that you do move up higher. Looking at the weekly time frame, and I want to push out to the Toshi 3 chart. Toshi 3, right there. I mean, it's very obvious that we're at the base of this area here. Whoops, come on. Very, very obvious that we're at the base of this area here, right? Every time that we've gone below this line, and let's actually draw this a little bit better. Every time that we've gone below this line, it's actually been an ideal area to buy. We take this right here, we connect the dots, line of best fit at least, something like that. Every time we've been below, it's a great time to buy. We were there last week, we were there the week before, and now we're moving up. I would assume that here we're getting ready to break out of this resistance point right here, dating back to our prior all-time high in April of 2024. We've got a lot of resistance built up here, and I mean, any day now, man. Whether it's next week or the week after or this week, we're going to be breaking out of this, and Toshi's going to move at a pace that's unprecedented. Or maybe it's completely precedented. Maybe it's completely something to expect, because I really do expect that we're going to see something that'll take us to new all-time highs, ultimately pushing the price to anything between about 0044 to $01 right there, which from the current price would give us anything from about a 5.5x to a 13.2x price potential in what I could only imagine would happen in November. So great stuff coming our way. Just got to be patient. I really am expecting a spectacular break, because again, look at this, right? We moved down, you had this consolidation phase, and that was the reaction you had. But think of it in terms like this. We've been consolidating and really just slowly building up to this point. We've got a lot of pressure building up here, specifically since April. Okay. This time frame, let's just compare sizes. People say size doesn't matter, but let's see if that is true. Okay. 22 weeks here. This one's bigger. Not that it's a competition, but this one's bigger. Might we expect, with a bigger consolidation phase relative to this, and a overall long phase building up right to this point, might we expect a larger move than anything we've seen in a while? Maybe akin to this, or maybe something that's not quite as big but still rather massive, larger than what we see on average. I would expect that we do see a very large move coming in, you guys. And just for context, right, from a low to a high, that move, if we were to break out here, this is the breakout point, right? If we were to break out here from this low, that put us all the way up at 1.5 cents. I'm not calling for 1.5 cents though. I'm calling for something that's like right in between there, right? Something at like 7 or 0.007, 0.0045, 1 cent itself, something in that zone there. Anyways, that's Toshi. Expecting it to break out here any day, any week now, within the next 2 weeks. I mean, it could be within the next 2 days, but absolutely between now and the middle of November, I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we saw new all-time highs for Toshi, at the very, very, very least, if we were breaking out of this zone. Okay, some like T-minus 2 weeks from now, guys. It's going to happen. It's going to be spectacular. Turbo is the next one. We're going to look at Turbo now. Let's go on the crypto chart, the all-time history here. Looking at the daily time frame, just to get our bearings. You are moving down. You look a little bit sad here, but that's okay. A lot of cryptos do, right? There's some. Oh wow, Bitcoin came back down too. Wow, that's wild. I was not expecting that. Interesting. Okay, so we've really just sold off. You're looking good. 13 minutes left. I think this is just a little volatility. I'm not worried about this. But that is an interesting look. I was like, wow, why are you moving? I was literally going to be like, you're moving down, but Bitcoin's moving up. And then I look and Bitcoin just dropped like a couple $1,000s. It's crazy. definitely a flash crash, little shakeout moment to trap some shorts, make people go. Let's just see. Let's refresh this here. We actually have more longs than shorts now over the past day. I wonder how many longs we had before the drop. That's intense, man. That is very intense. But I think that we're going to recover. I don't think that it's real. I think we're going to continue to build, right? We just had a quick build, dropped, and then we're probably going to slowly build back up, I would imagine. Have we done that recently? Not really. Anyways, I do think that we're going to recover. Turbo, looking at the 1 hour time frame here, $0.0242, 12 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame, moving down quite a bit, down 2.5% this hour, but I think that's largely due to Bitcoin moving down, right? Bitcoin will recover, you'll probably recover too. 1 hour RSI, for being fair, it would make sense to get into the oversold zone, but you don't have to. Just because it would make sense doesn't mean we have to. We still have 12 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame. Let's see where we close. If we close up a little bit higher, maybe you don't have to go lower. Maybe you find support at the 40 and then we move higher from there. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. All right, let's see. 4 hour time frame. Or no. We didn't look at the MACD yet. Stochastics have bullish divergence. MACD has bullish divergence too. So even if we do go lower, I have faith that we're near a point at which we can expect a bounce. Low here to a high here. Yeah, well, I mean right there. Golden ratio 0.0024, 0.0023, something in that zone. That might be where we find support. Looking at the 4 hour time frame here. 4 hour RSI. Bouncing right off the 40. That'd be nice. We've got an hour and 11 minutes left. Let's close somewhere around here. Stochastics right at a point to bounce, and the MACD just crossed above the zero. I've been talking about this throughout really various cryptos, that on the 4 hour time frame specifically, when you cross above the zero on the MACD here, that's actually where we begin to consolidate. Then whenever that next phase comes in, that's when the big move comes. So I would assume that the next time we do move up, which is going to be any day now, we are going to get a nice pop. It probably takes us back to the top of this range here, if not through it. So expect a 30% pump to come your way from the current price of 0.0242. Expect a 30% pump or more to come your way, probably over the coming days. If not over the coming days, because we do have Trump and Xi meeting on the 30th. We have the FOMC announcement tomorrow, the 29th. Maybe it'll be next week, but I don't know, man. I've been making calls like this over the past week, and it's been working out well. I think you're due for some kind of big move here over the coming days, but we'll see. Time will tell. Maybe we don't get a sell the news event. I don't know. Or maybe we do get a sell the news event for crypto, but it doesn't affect Turbo. I don't know. Daily time frame zooming out here. Daily RSI looks great. Actually, it doesn't. To be completely fair, it looks great as far as the setup goes. Right, you got a higher low here in your RSI. You've got lower lows in the price. There's bullish divergence there. You're also at the 40 to bounce here, but overall it actually does look bad if we're being fair. But just right here, it looks great. It looks like you're set up to move higher, right? Similar to like back here where you got oversold. You bounce right off your 40, and then it just reminds me of that there. So in that essence, it looks great. But overall, it actually does look pretty sad. If you were to move lower, it's not a big deal. I don't think that's a big deal at all, but I'm not expecting that you do move lower. If you do move lower, I highly doubt that we take out this low. I'm very confident that is low. But if we do, even if we do, it's okay. It's totally fine. You can make more bullish divergence, and that's fine. Stochastics bouncing right off the oversold zone, reinforcing the idea that that was the low. Beautiful bullish divergence here on the MACD, and you're actually building from there. I know that you're coming down a little bit today, but let's just see how the day ends, because you've just crossed green. Let's give this a chance to develop. I think that over the coming days and weeks, you're going to move up higher. When we look at the long-term prospects for Turbo, we take a overall all-time high to the low here. Not the scam wick low, but the actual low of this pattern here. I fully anticipate that Turbo will, by the end of the year, see something on the lines of a 2.7 cent price to a 6.2 cent price, something between about an 11x to a 26x, something in that range there. By the end of the year, you might be at 2.7 cents as early as the end of November, and then end of December you're at 6.2 cents, but something in this range is what we're looking for. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I think I've said it all. So if you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get it, or I'll see you on the next one. Autopilot there. Take care of yourselves, all right? Bye-bye.